welcome, welcome to
My
live
name was
action Star Wars.
in the graphic. That was cool.
That's new. I
That's
did that.
new.
I think James was spun around while
yeah,
that happened.
I was just looking around.
I did that. So we have these new intro screens for StreamYard, so you don't have to do the countdown.
Wow.
It just plays the video. So now I just do the video, and I'm like, okay, well, it's in hyperspace. I can put the title of the show in, which makes more work for me each week. But it's fine. It's fine.
But Ralph is a glutton for punishment.
Yes,
Yeah, I mean, anything to take my mind off other things, I'll like work on. Welcome to Live Action Star Wars. I'm Ralph.
I'm James.
And today we're joined by Eddie Pence. Eddie, this is your 7th time.
Is it?
Yeah.
I looked it up because I was like, you always come on for the first episode of a series.
I do, yeah.
And again, we never know what you think of that series going forward. The last one was Acolyte. What were your thoughts on Acolyte?
I thought it was going in a direction I really dug, and I just thought they didn't stick the landing on the final episode.
That sounds a lot like Ralph.
That's about, yeah.
I just thought I really liked a lot of what they did in that series, and I thought there's a lot of cool stuff in there. I just felt they didn't stick the land. Like there's no reason the twins can't go together. It made no sense to go, we have to leave you here. Why? Just both go.
Yeah.
It was just unnecessary.
It just it wasn't as much of an ending. I think I just don't think it was ever intended to be the end of a show. Like it's just
they
the
thought
biggest
they wrote
bummer
it
of
as
it
if,
all.
like we're getting season 2. They wrote it that way. I'm like, all right, but like don't do that. Write it as you only get this one season.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah, I feel you. I want to run down the list real quick because you aren't always on the first episode. Book of Boba Fett, Chapter 1. You were there.
Okay.
Obi-Wan Kenobi Part 3, which was like Vader Kenobi lightsaber battle.
Yeah. Their first movie.
Andor, Andor, you came in late on episode 10, but that's the One Way Out episode.
Oh, dude.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
You got the best
Star Wars ever.
Literally.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mandalorian Chapter 21, which was the 3rd episode of Mandalorian Season 3. This was called The Pirate. So
was that the guy that had the fern, the living fern?
Yeah. So
and had a guy who's in this episode. Yeah.
Ahsoka Part 1 and 2, the slow opening.
Yes.
Of Ahsoka.
The map.
And then the Acolyte, the first 2 episodes of Acolyte.
Which
and here we are.
I dug so much the Acolyte, except they did not stick the landing.
They didn't need Yoda.
That was the best bit.
You didn't even need a Plagueis. You didn't need any of that.
Right.
Didn't need it. The show was good overall, but like it's just a bummer the way that.
And the Stranger, such a great character.
So good.
Such a great character. Yeah. And then
did you see this week? He was at a fan expo somewhere, and he was just like trying to dance around saying too much because he's still got hope that the show's coming back. I'm like, oh, buddy. It's like, no.
Everyone else badass, but
everyone else on the show is like, yeah, Disney needs to do better about like protecting people and like dealing with and saying something about the shit that people give them online because it's Anyway, so far people aren't talking shit about Skeleton Crew that I've seen, which is amazing.
People are here's the thing with Skeleton Crew. We are not the age demo for the show at all. This show is made for 12-year-olds, but what's kind of great is I remember seeing the Goonies when I was like I must have been like 9 or so when that came out. So I used to be in that age range, and I feel like I could still appreciate stuff in that age range.
They were smart to let us know. They promoted it as, no, this is for kids.
Yeah.
Brace yourself.
And
don't go in thinking anything else.
That's the reason as well. Like, we've already seen some Andor footage. They're already teasing Andor out. So that it's just like, look. This one might not be for you, but that one will be. Like, so they're not just going, here is your Star Wars, you will like it. It's like, no. You don't have to like this one if you don't want to. But that's worked out because, I don't know. So far, it seems like people are.
What's funny to me is that after the episode ends, the suggested like show to watch is Andor.
Oh, really?
I'm like, hey kids,
kids.
Like,
come and watch
this thing. You think some kid's gonna autoplay and it's Andor at a strip club and then he like murders a guy.
Well, I mean,
right? Isn't that how Andor starts?
Yeah. This show, we did get to see our second ever brothel after Andor's one.
We did.
So, you know. Yeah.
And the stripper with a heart of gold.
Yeah.
Well,
we think.
Maybe.
Maybe.
I wasn't. Yeah. Who knows?
Seems like people really want some kids. Like she was really
working on it.
Like she was really like grabbing that girl. Like
it's like, where are you from?
Like,
take me with
like,
you.
But it was like trafficking.
Yeah, it seemed. At first I was like, okay, I don't trust this. Is she trying to get these kids working? But then it did seem like, as Eddie was saying, it was like heart of gold. She's like, I fell into this life. I didn't want to be a part of this. I was trafficked into this. I'm just trying to look out for two young girls. That's how I read it. I think that's how we're meant to.
But the grabbing of the arms,
and
drag is a little much.
Like I said, at first I got the feeling like, okay, she's not on the up and up, and then at the end I was like, no, she realizes how bad this place is, and these are children, and they need to get out of here. That's
and then was sort of just so thrown by the at-ats and of it all that like was
yeah. All right, so I'll tell you this right off the bat.
We talked about the end before we talked at the beginning.
We jump around. It's fine.
Jumped straight to the brothels.
Important things
like
first.
This show, the thing I'm gonna say that I just like about it the most, it's not tied to any bullshit.
No.
Seemingly so. I'm sure there's some deep cut EU stuff going on, but I didn't notice it.
I haven't noticed anything.
So Tristan texted me just before we went live. He's in the comments here. He's talking about it. And he thinks that there might be some High Republic related stuff. If there is, it's not like confirmed. It's not overt. They talk about great works, which great works have been mentioned in the High Republic, but I don't know if they are the same thing. I don't know if this is part of that, or if it's just, the great works of that planet, or whatever it is.
Or maybe that planet is itself trying
one of those
reclaim the High Republic, or maybe they were so isolated they never evolved out of the High Republic.
Yeah, that's it. Like they know what's going on in the galaxy, but they're like, shit, we had it good back then, and we want to be isolated because it seems like
it's like that
real...
M. Night Shyamalan movie, the
Village.
The Village.
Yeah,
that's what the planet is. It's the village.
It's really sort of just an isolated, cut off place.
That's what I think. I think that the hologram sort of sky that they see that blocks the stars isn't for the people on Earth. It's so people on the outside think, oh, that's not habitable.
Yeah.
Oh, that's cool.
And they just avoid it.
Yeah,
I think
they talk about it as a barrier. Like they know that it's there. It's not the people who are there know that isn't what's out there. Like they know that there is a barrier.
Yeah. But I think this place is
the whole aspect of that is the most interesting to me. The most interesting part of the show. I mean, I love the opening sequence with the pirates sacking the ship. I thought I was like, to see that aspect of Star Wars, which has never really been explored in the films or the TV shows, of the piracy that would happen, and it makes sense that with the New Republic taking over, they don't have the manpower to enforce.
It's warlords
everywhere.
and like of course there's a power vacuum.
Everyone's taking their piece, and pirates jumping hyperspace lanes, stealing cargo is such a great aspect of Star Wars we've never seen.
That opening shot really made me like want High Republic stuff because of like the way that they're coming in, the way that like they just puncture through the hull, and like they felt
great.
Maraudery. It felt like denial from the High Republic,
and the whole beginning felt like the whole homage to A New Hope when Vader takes
a lot of
coming in for
the choke.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
The hallway,
but not
the gunners, the choke. I think there's even some dialogue that's very similar.
It's close, but not to a point where it's like just echoing it. It's just it's invoking it without just repeating it.
Yeah,
is it like poetry?
It
rhymes.
Poetry.
I love the beginning. I thought the pirate stuff was so cool, and I just explore that world. Is you could have stayed in that world, and I would have been happy.
Like we're gonna talk about it, I'm sure, a lot more later on as we go through. But Mick Giacchino's score as well, just the sound design and the score in that point, like it's that this is a pirate story. like whether or not we how we follow the kids later on, right from the get-go. This is a pirate story in the same way that like Treasure Island is as a kid and it's a pirate story. It's both those things combined.
His music is like classic pirate music.
Yeah.
After I watched the show, I texted him and I said, "Hey, dude, like I love this, and this. Like it, like so." Eddie, I don't know if you're familiar with Mick Giacchino. He is the son of Michael Giacchino. He's a composer. He's a friend of mine. Right? Yeah.
Michael did
recently.
one.
Yeah.
So he recently did The Penguin.
Amazing.
He scored the Penguin show, which is so amazing. The kid's super talented. The music in this show was like so spot on. At points felt like Goonies. Like when they first find the sort of hatch to the ship, it does almost the same like One-Eyed Willie thing when they first discover the map or something like that. So like they're really leaning into like, I mean, shit, there's like this Amblin thing, like they weren't kidding. Like the speeder bike has tassels on the handlebars. It's like what, I don't even know what purpose
some of the shot
serves on Earth
itself looked like almost like Spielberg shot. Like it looked Robert Zemeckis.
The backlit when they go into the ship for the first time. It's backlit and the four of them.
Ravine.
Yeah,
it's straight out of
ET. It's Explorers. It's all of that sort of kids on bikes.
The shot.
It's more Amblin than Stranger Things was, and Stranger Things like saying that's what they were going for the whole time.
And the cool thing about this is my favorite part so far is, well, not besides the piracy stuff, is the mystery of the planet, which is very Stranger Things. Of like they're realizing, we don't exist.
What's going
universe.
on? Yeah.
That's the cool part. Like the little Stranger Things nod. It's kind of
cool. Who is? Let me look this up. I'm trying to remember the characters' names. Fern.
Here's Neil.
Yep. Yeah. Protect Neil at all costs. Neil is the best of us.
When Fern first goes into her neighborhood, and it's that crane shot with the two pillars on each side, it's straight up Back to the Future.
Yeah. Good. I'm glad that you said it as well.
It's the line of states in Hill Valley.
I've got my notes here, but I just don't think I'm going to need to mention them because we're all going to be saying the same stuff. But yeah, it is.
So it's almost
I think I put my note was does Vern live next to Marty McFly? I'm just like it's the line of states.
They hit all the notes they were trying to like. They got their points across on everything they were trying to do.
Yeah.
I feel like this is the perfect show for like James. So you're going to be a father soon. Eddie, you've gone through this before where you decide when to start showing kids stuff. Like Star Wars to like RoboCop to like all that stuff.
We started with RoboCop when he was 3.
I started with Terminator when I was about the same age.
Oh, he was 3. But
he was 3.
But what's cool,
RoboCop
I think,
2.
with this show is it's like if your kid likes Star Wars and you haven't introduced them to like Goonies or Gremlins or Explorers. Explorers is a big one too.
So good.
If the kids like this, be like, hey, if you like this, you know what you'll really like, and you easily just like popping Goonies. It's the exact same thing.
Yeah.
Tristan said he saw Aliens when he was 7.
Yeah, I saw Terminator when I was like 4 or 5.
I saw Jaws when I was like 6 or 7.
Yeah, that scared the shit out of me. Close Encounters scared the shit out of me when I was a kid.
I think
the one that
what in there though, I think that is emblematic of the same sort of thing here. It's that latchkey kid. It's growing up or born in the 80s. Like it's what this show is doing so well. It's like, and it's not just looking back on it. It's like these kids are kid of a single parent who's just like, here's the lunch money, you figure it out, and he's just like, get yourself to school, get yourself home. Like they're doing it all, like they're hitting all those notes, and just us talking about the films that we watched way too young, like is the same thing.
Just unsupervised.
I kind of miss those days.
Yeah.
Riding my bike to school like a mile or 2 away. I know. I mean, Eddie, I don't know much about your parenting, but like I noticed lately, like there's no more school buses. Like there's these big ass lines of cars of parents outside of schools like every single day.
I live in Los Angeles, so especially in Los Angeles, you have to be, I think, within outside a 5-mile radius of the school to qualify to get on the school bus.
Oh, wow.
Other than that, it's up to you to get your kid to school. So that's why there's so many parents that drive their kids to school, because you have to literally be outside a 5-mile radius of the school, and most people aren't.
That's crazy.
So that's why you have these massive lines of cars dropping people off every morning.
Have you ever just sent Colton on a bike and just be like, "Hey, this is how we did it"? But I mean, you were living on the East Coast. Hollywood's a different story.
Oh, dude, I grew up in a neighborhood like what's in the show. It's like you would get on your bike after school and you would be gone until it got dark, and then you would come home. I mean, that's how I live in Los Angeles now with my kid. We live in an apartment in the city. I can't let him go outside by himself. Like, you just can't do that.
It's nuts.
My nephew just turned 14 the other day, and it was like, I think about what I was up to at 14 and what he is up to, and it's just like, I feel bad for you, because like it almost feels like you're sheltered. That's like, yes, you're definitely more protected, and the world's a scarier place. But
yeah,
I was getting up to a lot of stuff that he would blow his mind. He would have no idea about it at the moment.
This show, it's funny because
I was jumping. I was building ramps and jumping my bike and like nearly killing myself. Like, now you have to wear a helmet when you ride a bike. It's crazy.
Yeah, we were shooting each other with BB guns in my friend's backyard. Put on sunglasses, go to town.
We would build our own bow and arrows with a nail on the end of the stick, and then just shoot the thing straight up in the air and just wait for it to come down.
We used to do this thing in like railway tunnels. You just get like fireworks and you'd go into like the edge of the tunnel. You'd go fairly deep. You'd light the firework, and then it was who could stay in the tunnel the longest before you like ran out. It was like so dumb. Like, it's just the dumbest shit. It's a wonder that any of us are still here.
We had a hill in the woods, and when it snowed, everyone would go there, and it was called Suicide Hill.
Of course, there's always one of them.
Literally, there's just trees and rocks that are just, it's like you're literally on a speeder bike going through indoor, but it's a snow hill and an inner tube. It was
That's
insane.
amazing. I want to do that now.
Yeah.
I don't think Liz is too happy.
I found out if you got strike anywhere matches, like the wooden ones, and you put them down the barrel of a BB gun, when you shoot it and it hits something hard, it would go psh, amazing. But I was shooting at the trash can and stuff. Dude, it sucked because you had to load it one at a time. But of course, you would stick in like maybe 3 to see if that would go. But the point is, like, I love this show because it does show you like just kids on their own.
Yeah.
But then it gets to a point where, like, holy shit, like, in Hollywood, that pirate port is what Hollywood feels like as soon as the sun goes down. I can see why, like, Eddie doesn't want Colton to head out,
He'll die. As soon as he walks across the street, he'll get hit by a car. It's not a neighborhood. It's a city. It's insane.
Yeah,
that's it. We're looking back on this stuff nostalgically. We're not advocating for it to like be that way now at all. Like, but we're just
I would not want my child to grow up the way I grew up.
Hell no. Oh no. Like, no.
Yeah. So anyway, with the show, there isn't a lot of tie-ins. Like, the thing I like about it so far, it's not like we don't have to know about like the 3 sisters or what the fuck trade routes are. Or any of that bullshit. It's literally like
brief bit of text. It's like New Republic's in power, Empire's gone, power vacuum, pirates are out there.
Yeah,
for those of you
his little his little iPad, which got some stories with guys with lightsabers. So there's some references to
but like, for those of you that care, this is when it takes place.
Yeah.
Otherwise, it reminds me the most of Star Wars, and the fact that Star Wars is such a flimsy like plot. But it's all about, here are these crazy, these amazing characters in a situation. Yeah. And so with this show, it's like, here's these 4 kids in this situation.
But like, what's going on in the greater galaxy is not relevant to this story at all. Like, and it shouldn't be. It's like, there is X-Wings in the trailer, and it wouldn't surprise me if Carson Teva is the pilot of one of those X-Wings, because he's like one of the linking characters, it feels like. But this is the same timeline as Mandalorian, as Ahsoka, as all of those shows, but it doesn't need to be connected to any of it. Like, that one pirate that popped up, Vane, he's the only person that we've seen, and I hope it stays that way.
Right. because I'm not following his storyline. I haven't read his comic books.
He doesn't have a storyline. He was in one episode of Mandalorian. He was like the pirate guy who got away after Swamp Thing went down with the ship.
Yeah.
And then he pops up in this working for some other pirates.
Which is cool that there's this pirate network that we don't know about.
Yeah,
That's great.
He's just a dude doing a job. Like he's fell in with some bad people. Yeah.
Stevie says that she likes KB a bunch. I like all the kids. I think all the kids are good.
The show like this, that's to me. That's my one problem with the show is the kids aren't bad actors. The kids are good actors, but there's none of the kids grab me the way Chunk or Data or like they don't. There's just no kid that just like I love watching this kid.
What about Neil?
None of the like.
Neil's probably the one.
Yeah,
maybe Neil, but the kids are not. The kids are good actors. They're just not characters that I want to watch.
Yeah. Wim is pretty good. I think that Fern might be a phony. Like clearly, she's like a really good student, and her mom is the same one from the class, right?
Yeah.
So
her mom's
like
important.
she's privileged and she's pretending she's not. She still gets the good grades and stuff. So I kind of like her sort of bullshit mentality of like lying to him about like people going to the mines. Like the last kid who did this went to the mines and whatever.
It's her way of rebelling when in actual fact she's getting good grades and doing really well in school probably, but she's just she's trying to be the tough kid.
Her bullshitting with SM33 Smee. Her bullshitting was great, saying like I killed the captain, and Neil is so gullible. He's like, oh no, she killed the captain.
Neil's the heart and soul. KB is the brains / tech. Data is
Fern is mouth.
Fern is mouth. And
Mikey,
but they're just not there yet. They're not.
No, I get that.
Them.
I think a show like this does live and die by the kid performances, though, and they are all good. Like they're good
actors. They're just not.
They don't feel natural.
They're not annoying.
Like they don't feel natural. I feel like they feel like they're good actors, not just like natural kids. All the kids in the Goonies felt like just those kids.
Just kids.
It felt like that was a group of friends that hang out all the time.
Yeah. But I mean, you look at what those kids have all gone on to do, like in their careers and stuff like that. That was a special group of kids that they got.
Yes,
for
it
that.
was.
So,
it's going to be a weird show to talk about because it's not tied to anything else. I think that I think what was fun about the Acolyte was it was set up as a mystery, so there was a lot of speculating going on. With this, it's literally like, hey, follow these kids in these fucked up crazy adventures, like
see if they can get home.
Like when those kids went onto that spaceport, I was like, oh, this is bad. And then when they got separated, I'm like, oh, this is really bad. They need to keep their droid Smee like with them at all times, clearly, because he's got super punching powers.
Absorbs the heat from blasters and then burns people's faces off with it. It's amazing.
But for the most part, I'm like, oh crap, this is crazy. But I don't know. There's no like mysteries going on, with the exception of Ad Atten. I
quite like that. I quite like that is the mystery though. Like the mystery is their planet. They don't know something about their planet.
And then you got the Jude Law character at the end, which gives you a big mystery of like, okay, what is happening?
So I think Jude Law is in both these episodes.
He's at the beginning of the first one and the end of the second.
Definitely. Yeah. Okay.
I think that's 100% him at the beginning. Yes.
Crew's mutiny. They've thrown him in the brig. He's there. He's trying to get out. So
okay,
I think the way
is he really a Jedi? What's up with
how does he get the keys? What's that?
And then why does he wait to get the keys?
Right. He might be force sensitive. He might have some force sensitivity or something. I don't think he's a Jedi or has ever been a Jedi. I think he's picking up on what these kids are putting down. He's a con man. why not leave it earlier? Because he needs a way of getting off. Like if he gets out of that cell, he's not going anywhere. They've got a ship. He can get out with them on their ship. I think that's what that's going to be. He's going to use them. He's going to be the criminal who's in it for himself. He's using them. They're going to call him out on his bullshit at some point mid-season probably. And then he's going to come around and save the day and be the criminal with the heart of gold by the end of it, is the way I see it going, if they follow sort of a fairly standard formula. And if they do that well, I'll be happy. I'll be like satisfied with that. Justin saying a Padawan who hasn't grown up. Very much like Lost Boys sort of situation with it, maybe. But I more see it as he has some innate force sensitivity, or he's a con man like what's his name? In Obi-Wan Kenobi was. Camille was, yeah.
But he was using like magnets and stuff, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. That's
Why not? He could have some magnets in there.
Yeah. I mean, okay, unless Pete
and Alex from Star Wars Minute, it's all magnets.
I mean, let's say that Jude Law has a new crew, sees these kids. Everybody wants these kids because they're going to take them back to wherever they get these Republic credits from.
Yeah.
Poses as a prisoner, gets locked away by his crew. Maybe he has a new crew. Here, catch him, throw him in the brig with me. I'll get there.
There'd be a lot of explaining that first scene from the first episode to try to figure out why now he's back with. I mean, I guess you could.
No, like a new crew. No, he's got a new crew.
But the old crew is what threw him in the brig with him.
And they seem to be all over that port. They are all over that port.
Yeah, the Wolfman guy,
Jaleel White.
Yeah, that's a bunch of them. Like all of those guys from the beginning are all over that spaceport. Like. Their ship is just outside. Like their big, massive ship is just floating around outside. Like they seem to be in control of that place.
Okay. All right. Cool. Jaleel White as robot Steve Urkel. It's really weird seeing him
not be Urkel.
Yeah, but I mean, if you're going for that 80s vibe, like who else are they putting in this thing that's from that time period? Like, are we going to see like Candace Cameron, or are there like TGIF actors and stuff?
I'm just looking through on IMDb of who is around. No one jumping out at me. Johnny
says that he loves KB. Neil's okay. Win and Fern are both annoy him.
Win is annoying. Win is annoying.
He's got the most pluck, and I think Fern could be annoying if she's not sort of called out on being just tough girl for the sake of being tough girl. But the other two, I agree. They're the ones who are just like they're the second, like they're the sort of the co-pilots to the lead two, but they're the best ones.
Yeah, we're also really early on.
Yeah,
I'm curious to see how they handle this prison escape.
How they're gonna get Smee back online and everything, rescue Smee.
I like the rat.
The rat in the eye was great.
Is the rat have something to do with Smee's functionality? Like, is there something going on where the rat is controlling it?
Is it Ratatouille? Are we doing a Ratatouille? Is that what
I think so. There's something up with it.
I thought that because just the way that the camera lingered on the rat a few times when things were happening, like when he went down, it was like they made a point of saving the rat. I can't imagine it's just for the gag of him not being able to get the key.
Yeah, I mean, who knows? Like
the rat needs to go in there and rewire him or something. I don't know.
Something, or it's controlling it fully and has speech capability, like able to like, I don't know. I want the inside of that robot to have a little console where the rat is literally like going like that. Because why can't a creature this small be smart?
What is it? We've seen it with like the Anzellans and even with Grogu controlling IG and stuff like that. Like, that could be a fully sentient little creature. We've not seen one before, I don't think. So yeah. Love it.
Yeah. Those Anzellians are the Babu Frick guys? Yeah. They're pretty small.
They're small. The ferryman in this was really small. Love that little puppet,
dude. Okay, so James is not a fan. I'm a massive fan of the Ewok movies, and
I didn't
I
mind
love
them.
Teak.
I thought they were fun.
I love Teak, and I
It's
guarantee
got the darkest moment in any Star Wars film.
It does.
It's the
really
darkest.
Does.
The second one is the darkest of anything.
Yeah. So somewhere, this is like our episode 114 of our regular episodes, and we have like a bunch of data link episodes and bonus episode stuff. Somewhere along the way, I guarantee you I mentioned that I want more Teak.
Yep.
Never thought it would happen.
Oh, you're getting it.
And here we are.
Here you are.
And he ran fast.
Yep, he did the thing.
He ran fast. He didn't do the like motion blur, Barry Allen thing.
Yeah.
But he ran fast, and I'm like, oh shit, okay. And apparently it's practical. It's a puppet. John Watts, guess, was a big fan of the character Teak and wanted to bring him back. And I don't know if this is the same Teak. It can be. I mean, we're only talking a couple years after the
he does look a bit older.
Ewok movie.
Does
that movie end with Sindel and Noah and Teak on a ship leaving Endor? Am I remembering that right?
Yeah, I think they are leaving Endor. I think they do leave Endor.
I think they are.
I just watched it with my kid like probably 2 years ago because he wanted to see it.
It's
what do you think?
About that one.
I think they do all leave together on the ship.
Yeah, I think the second one's easier to deal with. It's less boring. There's like witches and marauders and
dark.
stuff.
It's so dark.
Yeah,
you literally watch like
the family.
People. You watch the family die by watching the lights go out. It's crazy.
Yeah, she's just sitting in there in the woods in the dark by herself,
watching her family die on her wrist.
But that's like Amblin era. That's like 1985. Like it's like the same year as
parents aren't allowed to survive these things. That's like as soon as there was a dead mum in this show, like Liz was like,
yeah, but it's not like they died at the beginning of the first film. You lived with them the whole first film, and then they wipe them out at the beginning of the second film. That's dark.
Yeah, that's like Newt at the beginning of Alien 3.
Yeah.
It's like, we survived this whole movie and now they're gone.
Now you're taking it away from us like that.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
So Teak's there, but also Ralph, another thing that we watched on the show, another reference. Did you not like this one as much? The holiday special?
Yeah, it's a little tough for me. There's okay, here's the thing. I'm twofold on this.
Okay.
I think Disney should 100% release the holiday special on Disney Plus. They clearly have a better version. Because anytime they show the stuff in like documentaries where they have like footage of the holiday special, it's always like the most pristine version of the holiday special that anybody has ever seen. Like, so for me, I'm like, just release it. I don't like the references because I guess it's because of this. As soon as I see it, like everybody has to jump on the internet to be the first person to say, I know what that's from. So that drives me nuts. Did I like seeing it? Yes.
Yeah.
It's because it's so fucking weird.
It is.
It's nice to bring stuff into canon.
One of the deepest cuts that they could from the holiday special.
Right, but there's no more deep cuts anymore. I think that's the problem. My problem.
All right, yeah. There is no deep cuts because everyone's analyzed it because a bunch of stupid white people on the internet have talked about it.
Teak is a deep cut.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm white. But now it's no longer a deep
talking
cut.
About us.
Yeah, I know. One of the things in the trailer too was the little fluffy dude from Captain EO.
Oh,
and so like as soon as the trailer came out, everyone was like, Captain EO, Captain EO. I'm like, okay, just enjoy. I don't know. It feels like a race. It feels like a race.
Just don't go on the internet.
But I mean, I like Captain EO. But if like any kid that's seen Captain EO remembers the little flying butterfly fuzzball.
Any kid who's seen Captain EO is not a kid anymore.
And it just like floated in front of your face. Yeah. I need deep cuts. I swear to God, I heard this and I don't know. I didn't go back to put on the subtitles, but when Neil goes home to his family, I swear to God, they mentioned that one of the kids' names was Wilro. I could be wrong. I thought I heard someone say Wilro. I don't know, but I didn't want to look it up. I'm like, okay, because that's another thing. Wilro Hood used to not be Wilro Hood.
Yeah, no. That's done to death.
I remember in 1991, I got the fuck it. I got the VHS box set, the letterbox version.
Yeah.
Of the trilogy, and that was the first time I'd seen it in letterbox because I was at the Good Guys, which was a old like electronics store, and they were playing Star Wars. And as it panned down to Tatooine in that first shot, there was a moon over here that I had never seen before, and I was like, "Holy shit, I need this!" And so my parents bought it for me. It was like $89 for 3 movies on VHS. But then it had from Star Wars. Anyway, they got it for me, so I wasn't complaining. But that's the first time I noticed the character who's now known as Wilroy Hood, because we had that same ice cream maker. I'm like, holy shit. And I paused it and I went in and grabbed my mom. I'm look at this. And you couldn't notice it in this amount of time.
No.
But you can notice it in this amount of time in the widescreen. And so for me, I'm like, that's fucking awesome. And then for like 3 decades or 2 decades, it was like, that's the ice cream maker guy. And then all of a sudden, you
got an
cut
action
to now.
figure.
There's action figures. There's every Star Wars celebration. There's the running of the Wilroy Hoods, where like hundreds of cosplayers dress up in orange jumpsuits with ice cream makers. I was working at Disney when in parking when they would do they did the Star Wars marathon.
Yeah.
And a guy came dressed up as Wilroy Hood, and he was walking back to his car. And I'm like, "What's up, dude?" I said, "Dude, your outfit's awesome." And he's like, "Yeah, they won't let me run with the ice cream maker." And I'm like, "You got to be kidding me. This is the whole point." Like, this was like just one guy. Like, everyone had the robes, everyone had the lightsabers, everybody had like the Leia and the Hans and stuff. But this guy was like dejected walking back to his car with the ice cream maker. But it used to be a deep cut.
Sad Wilroy Hood.
Nothing is a deep cut anymore.
No.
I've got bad news. His siblings, Neil's siblings, I've got them here. It's Jobo, Jorko, and Tulo. Tulo. So,
maybe I don't know.
Wilroy.
Maybe I just heard what I wanted to hear.
Maybe. It's a middle name. It's Jobo Wilroy.
Scott D says this show is a Captain EO prequel, and I'm here for it. Someone was saying that maybe Wim is Captain EO, and I'm like, no, we don't need that. It's a young Captain EO. But I will say that Neil does look like Hooter from Captain EO more than he does
Droopy, not Droopy.
Max Rebo.
Max Rebo, yeah.
I'm gonna look up a picture of Hooter. So just chat.
What? That's his species. I can't remember that. Otter, whatever they are. I don't know. I didn't realize this, but there was always controversy about like what was arms and what were legs, because right. Like people used to say that like he was sat on his butt playing that thing with his legs. Feet. Yeah, and that they just walked around like that. But I was like, well, no, because the figure sat in it and he had legs.
Yeah,
like
that legs.
Was how that's how I always saw it. But I think there's been some art or there's been some comics or something where it's like, no, they just walk on their arms like that. This show confirms which way that is, though. It's like, no, they've got legs.
They said it's a different species.
Oh, what?
Yeah, it's not the same species.
Okay. So they're just similar
like the
looking
species.
Yeah, that looks like the same species to me.
Okay, but they're saying it's not. Here, I'm gonna show you an image of Hooter from Captain EO.
Oh yeah, no, he is listed as Neil species, not as the same one.
Yeah.
Oh wow.
So I think Neil looks more like Hooter from Captain EO than he does Max Rebo.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and I never really cared much for the Max Rebo in The Mandalorian.
Yeah, it wasn't necessary, was it?
I don't know how he got off the sail barge.
I mean, did he get out of that cantina?
Jedi?
He might have blown up in that. He might have blown up in that cantina because that thing blew up again. Like so.
Yeah, and I could have swore Bib Fortuna was on the sail barge too when it blew, but somehow he got out and got fat and took over the.
There'll be some story somewhere of like those two getting off. Yeah.
Say what you will about the Book of Boba Fett, but I did love the Bib Fortuna. I guess I was still the Mandalorian. Yeah.
That was.
But I really liked that Bib Fortuna.
Yeah. Is that Matthew Wood?
Yeah. Because Matthew Wood played Bib Fortuna in the
Phantom Menace.
Yeah.
We all know this stuff.
Yeah,
nerds.
That's the thing. Everyone knows this stuff. Like that's not the stuff that needs to be talked about. What does need to be talked about? The did you notice Constable Zuvio again? Like pointing out things that we saw.
No,
like, there's a Constable Zuvio looking guy. He's one of the pirates. He throws them in the jail. He's the one who actually like locks them in in the brig. He's with that crew. Like after they've shot Smee, there's a shot where you see him and he's at the background. Oh yeah, shit, it is those things. God, it's been 30, probably 30 years since I've seen Captain EO.
Right.
Yeah. But yeah, no.
From the director of Megalopolis.
Yep, that's. Or Megalopolis should have been from the director of Captain EO.
Yeah.
I think Captain EO made way more money though, right?
Probably.
Had to have.
Park admission
had a bigger impact for sure.
Yeah, it will be remembered. It won't just be a trivia question in a couple of years.
But they made a point to make sure that you saw those things fly away and escape.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah, they exist.
Go find Captain EO. Like they made a point to make no, they got out of the cage.
Yeah,
they're gonna go find Captain EO.
Yeah, they focused on
dude. If they do a CG Michael Jackson, are you kidding me? Like
that is not
nobody.
I don't think you're gonna do that in a kids show.
That is the.
There's too much there. You can't.
That is the last thing that is gonna happen on this show. If that happens, I'll eat a shoe. So what do we think the treasure of At-Aten is? Do we think it's just the friends we made along the way, or?
I literally think they're just recycling old Republic credits, which have gone up in value.
Maybe. Yeah.
So it's like the treasure
obviously
island.
it was people know of the place, right? Because some of the pirates knew. And that's a pirate ship that's buried.
But it could be just it's a myth, like folklore.
Yeah, it's the mysterious
some
cities
pirate
of
ship
gold.
Found it.
Yeah,
it's essentially like saying like where do you live? Oh, Santa's castle on the North Pole, and people would be like, yeah, right.
I mean, some ship definitely has found it like way back. It's been there for a long time, but. Yeah, as Cheston says here, it's like High Republic era, great works. That ship seems pretty old. The droid seems pretty old. Like that ship could have been offline for a long time before it was hidden. So, and it's properly buried in there. So it could have been hidden for a long time, like since the time of the Old Republic, pre-Empire.
And is anyone aware on At-Aten that pirate ship is even buried there?
Oh,
or has it been so long? Because why would you build a school right next to a buried pirate ship?
Yeah, right.
Right. So here's what I'm thinking. I think the people of At-Aten don't know shit. For centuries, they've just been following this thing where you go to school, you get your job designated to you. It's essentially the Dome City in Logan's Run. Essentially, is like I think what we're dealing with is people get certain things they do to keep this place running for some reason. I think that.
But doesn't someone have to be in control of that? Someone's got to be the Wizard of Oz.
I think it might be a droid. It might be some sort of droid AI or something. Like, have you seen Sky Captain in the World of Tomorrow? Where the whole premise is there's this sort of.
As well.
Yeah. There's essentially there's these robots invading the world. These giant robots are invading the world to try to make the world a perfect place. The source of these robots is an island. They go to the island and there was a scientist on the island who was creating a paradise, essentially like a Noah's Ark. He had like 2 of each kind of animal and endangered species and all this stuff, and it was flourishing. He had died, but the place was so automated that it continued to do this work and make this, Garden of Eden and this perfect society and this utopia, to the point where it's like, oh, people suck, let's get rid of them. So we create these war machines of robots to get rid of the people. So I think Ad Aten is something along the lines of that, maybe not as harsh, but it's definitely concealing itself. It definitely is being very uniformly run. For some reason, it needs humans for certain jobs and droids for other jobs.
Like sentience.
Yeah.
Not just humans.
But, people.
I know what it's people. Stuff. Yeah.
But is it a plan to get itself away it's like after the Republic fell and the Empire took over? Or is it older than that?
When did they cut themselves off? Yeah.
Older.
Yeah,
I think it's been around since before then. I think were
they oblivious to the Clone Wars and all of that?
Yeah, did they not know that?
Wow,
that's what I'm assuming.
Or is that planet a result of that? Like, no, we don't want it. We're just going to
dead set on 200 years, exactly 200 years.
I think it is it could be the village where they're hiding from the rest of the world to stay pure, or it's some sort of, I don't know, but it's definitely like, it's to the point where it's a myth for sure.
Yeah.
It is interesting that there are alien species there but like there's quite a few, like, but it's not like the kids are still shocked at other new people, like other new species. It's not like there is anyone else coming in.
They're shocked at stars.
They're shocked at stars, but like they know. Yeah, that's a good point. They're shocked at like just how many there are out there.
How does Wynn if this place is so closed off, why do they even allow Wynn to get these stories of guys with laser swords?
But they could be old stories. Otherwise, you'd have thought like a lot of that stuff would
have been
purged.
A society like that would purge all of that stuff, so no one would have these ambitions of trying to be something like that when they know they have to just do their jobs.
Stories keep people hopeful. It prevents them from just rebelling, I guess. It's just like stories of the outside world. I don't know.
Like, there's no way this kid can get a lightsaber on this planet, so it's harmless enough.
Yeah.
It's like if they had Green Lantern books. They only had Green Lantern books.
If it is like, from 200 years ago, like High Republic era, then like that is the height of the Jedi. There would be stories about them, and they would be this thing that's like, yeah.
But are the Jedi extinct to them, or the Jedi still exist?
I think they might still exist. I think they might still be out there, which is why it's going to allow...
but to them. To them, to that planet, or is the Jedi something of the past, or do the Jedi still exist on that?
He makes it sound like he thinks they still exist.
Yeah.
Right.
And I think as an audience, we're sort of meant to think, oh, the Jedi back, Luke's rebuilding and everything like that. But in actual fact, they think the old Republic Jedi are still out there.
Yeah.
And that's why they're going to be easily fooled. It's not just because they're dumb kids. They're easily fooled by Jude Law because he's like, yeah, I'm a Jedi. What? There's loads of
I have a theory. What if there is a Jedi temple on there? And the Jedi hid this place?
Interesting. It's one of the great
High
works.
Republic era.
Yeah, it's one of Chancellor Lena So's great works.
And he did, and then Wynn does mention that Jedi temples could hide in times of great danger. They could.
Yeah, we've seen it. We've seen it in Rebels.
You've seen it, and then he also mentions it. So
yeah. Oh, I'm coming around. On this theory.
And Fern mentions mines. So maybe this is a planet rich with Kyber,
or something. Yeah.
Or they think the Jedi temple is a mine because it's underground.
And it's booby trapped because we're gonna have booby traps and
or
it's none of this stuff, and we are way overthinking it because we've watched 2 episodes.
That's the thing is I like that I'm like, I love the show because it's just an adventure, just like the original Star Wars. There's no bullshit extra stuff, no 3 sisters, no
10 minutes later, we're adding
there's a Jedi temple buried there.
This is where Bendu lives now.
This is where he went. He's protecting it.
But I mean, it is a mystery set up by the show, so like it's forcing us to speculate, which is good.
Is this the first time we've seen a non-droid take a bath in Star Wars?
I believe so, especially a bubble bath. Yeah.
I mean, it looked great. That looked like a great jacuzzi.
And then also in the school, if you have to use the refresher, just use your data. Like literally, you just take a dump in your seat.
I don't think you shit on your iPad.
But they literally said if you have to use your refresher, just use your hand control. Like
I think they meant like
maybe to notify
press
them?
the call button. Like,
or does
that's like
your
raising
seat
your
turn
hand.
into a toilet?
When they said when they started saying if you need to use the refresher, I was like, I thought they were gonna say just go in your seat, but I was just like, I didn't think that your data pad was gonna turn into a toilet.
Yeah. That bubble bath reminds me of Francis from Pee-wee's Big Adventure because it's so giant.
Yeah. They are putting way too much pressure on these kids. Like the tests, the standardized testing, and all of that is like they're too young to be doing this and to be like essentially like assigned a career at this point, and then they're going to be focused. Yeah, it's not cool, but it does lean into that self-regulating planet. It's like it's being controlled by an AI, and it needs these people to go and propagate and do their thing. Yeah.
It's cool because it shows you how it beats that sort of ideal into the kids. Like, this is very important, this test and your future and your job, to the point where you see a grown-up like the dad is like still to this day, like, I got to do my work. You called me out of an important meeting. Like, it's like,
and what happened to the dad? Because those security guards come with us.
He
saw the ship fly away.
Like, and those droids are just wandering around in the woods, like the outside of the school and everything like that. They are a different type. Like, I think
that's why I think the city or the planet is regulated by some sort of droid, is because they detected that ship, sent droids out to check on it, and there's a dude out there. It's like, A, either did you do this, or B, you saw something you shouldn't have seen.
Yeah,
come with us to the interrogation zone. Maybe we'll have to either wipe your memory or just off you or whatever. I don't know. I am glad that the dad saw the kids on the ship.
Yeah.
Because like, I can't imagine like if the kids just disappeared from the planet, like what a parent would be going through if they didn't know that that ship existed.
So like her mum, Fern's mum, she is an undersecretary. She's some undersecretary or something or other. Do you think like all the people are just various different undersecretaries, and they all report to the
mother brain,
the Wizard
of Oz,
the Wizard of Oz, all of the different ways that story's been told? Like, I could see it.
And do they think space travel is possible? Like, as the AI or whatever controls the planet makes them think space travel isn't possible. That's why no one has ambitions of leaving the planet.
He did know it was a starship.
Yeah.
So clearly they exist.
Well, that's it. And like, they know, it's not like they don't think that this is the only planet in the world. They don't, like, in the universe. They don't think, they know what stars are. They know that there is stuff out there. They just, it's an interesting one. If they are completely cut off and they don't know it, and if no one from that planet's ever left, I
feel like if there was a church, if we saw a scene in the church on this planet, we'd get a lot more answers because they're being fed something. They're all being fed something. They know about the barrier. They know about the barrier.
Yeah.
So they must think there's something out there that's going to harm them, and they know they're safe on the planet, and the barrier protects them. It's like the village. You don't go past this point.
Yeah.
Or like Silo or something like that. Like, that you don't go out, you don't leave, you don't go out there. Yeah. It's all for your own protection.
So what's the myth?
What's keeping them there?
Yeah.
I don't know. There's stuff. I think Farah, Fern's mum, has definitely got some stuff to answer for. I think she's got more to say, and I think like when we cut back,
she knows more.
Yeah, when we cut back to the dad, whose character name don't have, and her, I think when we get that, like, we'll get more. I think he'll start being like, we need to go and get them. We need to get out. We need to leave. And she'll probably be more hesitant. Or maybe like she'll start rebelling or something and just sort of say, no, we do need to leave. We do need to take or break through the barrier or whatever. Yeah. Who knows?
I think after the first 2 episodes, I'm excited to see where it goes. It's definitely fun. Like I was never bored. It wasn't like that opening of Ahsoka where she spent like 10 minutes walking around that temple. Like it's like actually like I'm like very entertained. I think the kids are good. It'll be more fun to see them sort of forced into an adventure as opposed to them just being kids, regular kids.
There's the right level of whimsy, I think, to it. It's
I like kids playing with action figures and pretending to be Jedi. All that stuff was fun.
Yeah.
If we get a lightsaber in the show, great. I think I'm fine with it either way.
Depends on the context, but yeah.
I think it's because Wim is so excited about Jedi and Star Wars. Like he's such a Star Wars fan that like I want him to be able to like
see one, hold one,
experience a real lightsaber. Like I'm like that would be cool. I
mean, that's surely is going to be his first question to Jude Law when he's like, "Yeah, I'm a Jedi." It's like, "Cool, where's your lightsaber?"
Yeah.
And that'll be how Jude Law talks his way out of that constantly.
That might be fun. Yeah, we'll see.
Yeah. I'm excited. I'm excited about the show. I think it's fun. I think the music's great. I can't wait to hear more from Mick Giacchino's score. And I'm excited. I'm excited about it. It's nice. It's a fun show that has like low stakes, and I think I am here for
because what's coming up next with Andor is going to be heavy.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah. We know where it ends, and it's not good for anyone.
No, it's not good.
Did Colton watch it?
Yeah, he dug it. He loved it.
Cool.
Oh. His cousin, who's the same age as him, did not like it. He thought it was too childlike. It was too whatever. And I was like, okay, well, that was the point. That's the way they put it out there. Yeah. Colton dug the whole thing. He liked He liked seeing a neighborhood in Star Wars.
Yeah.
He thought that was cool.
Yeah. Stevie loved that too.
Yeah.
Like, because it's got to exist.
Yeah.
Yeah. And his cousin liked the pirate stuff at the beginning. Yeah.
Yeah.
Weird little thing that I really liked is when Wim wakes up and he's missed the bus. I really like that it clearly rained overnight. Like it was puddles and stuff on the ground. Like this isn't a single weather planet. Like there is there is weather here. And just seeing puddles and like I don't know, maybe it's just because I'm in England and it's always fucking wet here. It was just like, I recognize that. It's like seeing yourself on screen. Yeah.
The entire planet's one big suburb.
It's a utopia. They've made it. It's a utopia. It is one giant suburb.
It's
Any final thoughts, Eddie?
It's when we find out that it's one of the moons of Coruscant, and it's just this is the suburbs of the city.
I'd be down with that. I'd be totally down with that.
The barrier just makes them invisible.
Yeah.
And also, if people know about Aden, does it mean it moved somehow? Wouldn't it be on star charts?
Do other people in the galaxy pronounce it AT-ATN?
I think it's either been removed from the star charts. AT-ATN. It's either been removed from the charts the way Camino was.
Right.
Or that barrier acts as some sort of force, like some sort of stealth shield.
Maybe the Jedi set up this place. Maybe it's that place where the witches were.
Like
in Acolyte, and it's been covered over.
Trying to connect it.
Yoda,
stop trying to connect it.
After Yoda covered it up.
I like the idea of the planet itself being one of the great works, and it's just idyllic. It's like the great work is the fact that it's this idyllic, self-sustaining place for people to live and thrive, where there's no war, there's no conflict, everything is fine and good.
But there's no art or imagination.
But that's it. Like that's the compromise is you take anything like that away and you end up with just stuff.
But behind Fern, while she was sitting outside of the detention area, had some graffiti that had been written on the wall and and I want to say that someone
Fern's house had a big mural.
Yeah.
the bottom of the stairs. Yeah,
and there would have to be force sensitive people on this planet.
Yeah,
I mean it's Star Wars. The creatures have to be. There's got to be force sensitive people.
It's just whether or not they know what they're doing, whether or not they can tap into it. But... Yeah.
What if Wim isn't force sensitive and a Jedi, and he'll never be a Jedi, but Neil is?
That'd be so good.
He starts lifting rocks and shit.
Yeah, goes and hangs out with Chimera.
All right,
and like that's how we get more. And then Yoda pops up at the end and just gives a thumbs up to Ralph specifically.
Do you remember there's a shirt? I think they sold at Disney parks, or I know it exists, where it's like it's Yoda. I might be thinking, it might be wrong, but it was like Yoda, and it literally said something like "pull my finger." Is that a thing?
I
think I remember seeing that.
I don't know. It should be.
I know there's like a Yoda man.
My finger pull.
Okay.
All right,
Eddie. Yeah. Let's get out of here. Let's do some plugs for you.
You can check me out on all the socials at Eddie Pence or eddiepence.com. I got a comedy special on Amazon Prime if you want to check that out. You can hear me on the Ralph Report 5 days a week on patreon.com.
The Ramble.
The Ramble.
Go to
Jerry
Eddie's
Rocha.
YouTube channel at Eddie Pence. You're posting good clips.
Thanks.
Yeah. And any shows coming up? I need to go see your stand-up. Come to Improv a lot?
If you're in Las Vegas in February, I'll be at Brad Garrett's Comedy Club in Las Vegas at the MGM Grand, February 17th to the 25th or something like that.
You have any new Star Wars material?
Star Wars bits? No. I'm working on some.
Okay.
Working on some.
All right.
There you go. You're always welcome to come on the show and workshop stuff if you need to.
Right.
You got a safe audience here.
You'll get all the jokes.
I've got another episode of Top 10 Tacos out probably next week. We didn't want to do.
I love Top 10 Tacos. Anytime a new episode of Top 10 Tacos drops, me and Stevie get very excited. James and his partner Liz do a show ranking tacos in the UK. Which
and we've done one in Spain as well. So yeah.
Oh, okay.
We're going.
Are there good tacos in the UK? Good tacos
there is.
in the UK?
Yeah. I mean, there's at least 10 good ones. But yeah, we got a Scottish episode coming up at the end of the year. Probably that'll come out in January. We're going to Scotland.
I gotta ask. Haggis tacos.
I haven't had it yet. I'll see what they got.
Oh. All right.
But yeah, and Tristan did a little bonus section at the end of an episode. So he added some Mexican. It's Cancun, but he added some Mexican tacos in there as well. But yeah,
need to do a segment. She loves the show so much. She gets so excited. Like every time an episode drops, she's like, "New Top 10 tacos." She'll come like waking me up out of bed.
Amazing.
She doesn't care about my shows though, but that's fine. That's not true.
You got to add tacos to your shows.
She's in here.
Always.
Yeah, I know.
But yeah, that should be coming
James,
out. Yeah.
Get to California. We'll do a Top 10 Tacos. We'll do a Top 10 Tacos live action Star Wars crossover eating Ronto wraps.
That was the plan for next year. Before Liz was pregnant, that is exactly what we were going to do. But
with Nacho Calrissian is the name I've chosen Nacho for your baby.
Yep, that's the name. That is definitely the number one name on the list right now.
Or Wilro.
Wilro. Yep. Both strong contenders. But yeah, that'll be coming out next Tuesday, probably. It'll be out sometime. We haven't recorded yet, but we've been to the taco place. And Ralph, you've got something on Saturday,
right? Maybe I should.
Yeah.
So the movie I produced, it's a documentary about Lost, which people are loving. We're doing a live stream event on Saturday, the 7th. It'll be a day. December 7th. Check it out. It's a live stream, and then there's going to be a Q&A after, which will be like me and Taylor. Jorge Garcia is going to show up. It'll be much like this kind of a thing. Larry Fong is going to show up. Bobby Moynihan is going to show up. It'll be hosted by, we haven't announced this yet, but hosted by Hector Navarro. And then I think we have a few special things. But yeah, I mean, if you want to see my movie, You can on Saturday, worldwide.
Yeah,
I've only been working on it for over 3 years, but
where can we see
we
it?
Forgot.
Where's it at?
That's where it's at. We're going to do a live stream. It's on a platform called Inventive.
Okay.
They do like global live stream stuff. After that,
a link in the description for this.
Yeah. GettingLostDoc.com, and like it'll be up on like Amazon and iTunes on demand kind of stuff. Hopefully a streamer. I'm still trying that, but we'll see. But yeah. We've been on long enough.
What time is that? That's 1 p.m.
You just go to the page and it'll tell you the time based on your time zone, but it'll be 1 p.m. Pacific time.
Which is, I believe, going to be 9 p.m. over here. So
yeah, we try to make it a pretty decent hour for everybody across the world.
Totally doable in the UK. Right, Eddie, thanks for joining us. And
thanks for having me.
And until the next show, I guess.
Andor.
Yeah. I might have a kid by then, so that'd be fun.
Oh my god.
Yeah. But until then, don't give in to hate.
Celebrate the love.
Wizard.